tie-in going from Nevis to St. Kitts on a real rough boat. This is the southeast peninsula, and this goes from St. Kitts to Nevis. This area used to be only accessible by boat. Now there's a highway that was put in 1989 that goes all the way from Frigate Bay to the southeast peninsula, and then there's like a 2.5 mile channel from St. Kitts to Nevis. Now, this land used to be really, really cheap. You know, back when there was no accessibility except by boat, people started buying up this land gradually, a little bit by little bit back in the 60s and 70s. And of course, somebody owned it before that, but it was just it wasn't really usable for anything. You can't grow anything out here, and it was very rocky. It's this driest part of the whole country. But people gradually bought it up, but the views over here are just incredible from the mountaintops. And now it's the most expensive property in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's got incredible views of the ocean up high. And they do have some citizenship developments down here. Believe it or not, when you actually fly into St. Kitts, there's a lot of land here because there's a lot of sugar cane that was grown up until about I'd say maybe 2004 or 5, right in there, and then they couldn't make any profit in it, so they got out of it. But you get all this land now sitting out here, and of course that's back towards the mainland part of St. Kitts. But the great thing about St. Kitts is no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, almost no property tax at only 0.20% of whatever you're purchasing, with a $29,600 US dollar exclusion before that 0.20% kicks in. You know, they do have a corporate income tax. I mean, there's a guy keeps saying on YouTube that St. Kitts doesn't have a corporate income tax, but that's wrong. It's 33%, but you can avoid it by just set up on what's called an unincorporated business. And by doing that, you can, yeah, it was 2%. They gave as a leeway during the COVID-19 period, and they've actually had it as of up to this month of June. Starting the next quarter, it's going to be 4% of gross. But like I said, you can set up an offshore company and live in St. Kitts and not pay any income tax, or even have to have the unincorporated business tax. So this is a real good option if you're looking to get around high taxes. Now, if you're a U.S. citizen, you can qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion. But remember, U.S. taxes citizens and its residents on their worldwide income. So if you're a green card holder or you're a U.S. citizen, you're going to have to give up that green card, and you're going to have to relinquish U.S. citizenship if you want to get around all taxes with no limits. They do have a swim here every year too. It's called the Nevis to St. Kitts swim. I swam it back in 2011. The guys that won it that year still hold the record. They did it in 58 minutes, and 2 guys actually won it about the same time in 58 minutes, and no one's broken it that year. But no one's broken it since that time period. But it's a real good swim, and you can see we're coming up on the channel right now. This is the channel they swim. You can see the edge of St. Kitts, which hits the channel, and then right across the channel you can see Nevis. That's the swim that's done down at Penny's Beach, and it's 2.5 miles. You can actually see the bottom all the way across. We saw a huge hammerhead coming across there one time. A lady swimming out in not too far from here, right up in what's called Boobie Island, which is just up the channel from here. She lost her leg in a shark bite. This is real unusual that happened, but that was like 3 years ago, right after COVID-19 started that restricted time period. And they took a kayak out, and she was a vet student. But it's very rare that happens. That's the only case I know in 16 years where that's happened. There was a Nevis shark attack in that time period too. I forgot about that. The key is both of those were done in the Atlantic. If you swim in the Caribbean, we've never had any, gosh, I don't know how far back you go, but it's just better to swim in the Caribbean. It's wider, it's more smoother, and the track record of shark attacks are all like non-existent. I'm not saying they won't happen, but the ones that I'm familiar with are the ones that happen in the Atlantic, not the Caribbean side. Now we're hitting on, you can see Nevis now, and that's Mount Nevis. It's cloudy, you can barely see the top. Of course, Mount Nevis is the tallest mountain in Nevis, and the one in St. Kitts is Mount La Amiga. Great hiking if you want to go for a hiking trip while you're down here. So if you want to know more of this, again, folks, go to our website, www.citizenship.com. If you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport in as quick as 45 days, we help people instruct you and show them how to do this. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.